Trail Gamers,
Welcome to episode 2 of Couch Potatoes, where me and my good friend Adam Kay, my name's Ben McGonigal, we review movies. And we'll do any movie you want, like we've said. Facebook, YouTube, tell us what you want to see. Today we are doing one of my favorite movies ever. Guilty pleasure for sure. 2001's Fast and the Furious. Or it's The Fast and the Furious. This is number one. This is the movie that started it all. The 10-episode saga, which is Fast and the Furious, all begins with this one. As usual, we're going to run down the plot. We give some of our favorite scenes, some favorite lines, which this movie, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, it's got a lot.
And, incredible actors, incredible actresses. A lot of them got their start in this. Obviously, Paul Walker's finest work since Lance Harbor and Varsity Blues. Vin Diesel busts on the scene with this movie. Did great, some bit parts here and there. Was actually a break dancer or nightclub guy or something before this.
Oh.
Jordana Brewster. She's
Pitch Perfect.
Yeah. Was she in Pitch
No,
Perfect?
not Pitch Perfect. What was the?
Who knows? She's in this
it doesn't
one.
matter.
And all the money these movies have made, what else does she need to do? You got the kid, Discount Giovanni Ribisi, who drives the VW. A couple other bit parts in there.
Jesse.
But Jesse. Discount, like I said, Discount Giovanni Ribisi, he's in there. Couldn't get Giovanni, apparently had scheduling conflicts with the movie. Everybody was busting in to be a part of this franchise. They knew it was going to be a blockbuster.
They were right.
They were correct.
Correct.
This thing went all the way. But Adam, you're the plot guy. I know this is high on your list as well.
Yeah.
Knock it out.
Yeah, sure. This movie's basically a character by the name of Brian O'Connor, who's an undercover FBI agent, who's played by Paul Walker, the Paul Walker, legend. And he's basically tasked to find out who's hijacking all these rigs coming from the port.
Full of stereo equipment, high quality DVD players. 01, guys. 2001 here.
Yes. We're
DVD,
dealing Panasonics.
Yes.
That's kind of.
Yes.
I don't even know if Blu-ray's out yet.
Blu-ray may not.
They might just now be hijacking Blu-ray. It
Might
probably
just
cost
be.
$500 this time. At the moment of 2001. I mean, it's 50
Correct.
cents now, but
Yeah.
Anyways, they have a good idea of who's doing it.
Okay.
It's street racers of some type. They have a bunch of Honda Civics souped up.
Yes.
A little oxymoron there, but we're going with that.
Yes. Running spoon engines.
Yeah, spoon engines, yes.
Yeah.
And so he has to infiltrate the street scene, and I'm assuming it's L.A., but definitely California, somewhere in
Definitely out west.
Yeah, somewhere in California, and that's kind of where the movie goes from there.
Okay. So, I'm going to go in here. This was my choice. This is a great movie. I enjoy it. Like I said, it's a guilty pleasure. When the first one comes on, which is rare, as you know, they overplay these movies terribly. I mean, they hitch their wagon to one of them and they just wear it out. I think it's a cruel joke. They wear it out so nobody will watch it again, and then they store it in the vault. But so many ways to go with this movie. I mean, a classic piece of American cinema.
Absolutely. I will say that this movie really changed the world, honestly. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but like, you went and watched this movie at the theaters. As soon as you left the theater after you watched this movie, out in the parking lot, import heaven. All of a sudden, everyone had a damn import, and they were spinning out and doing all kinds of. I mean, they were trying to spin out. Some of them were, some of them weren't.
Yes.
Any piece of crap they had. I mean, think about it. I mean, these are young kids, 16 to 25, we'll say. A Honda Civic's not that expensive. A lot of people have them.
Not a lot. Not a lot. I think we
bad.
both owned a Honda Civic at one point in our lives.
Unfortunately, I did own one not very long. Let's just say I was more furious than fast with the car. Right?
Yes, you drove it like an animal.
Yes.
But so many things about the plot that there is to like about the movie. We've mentioned before how you have to suspend your disbelief in movies. Not with this one. This one's just totally realistic.
Absolutely.
They're wheeling cars. Which we both know. You do that all the time. You got your F-250, you're wheeling it up.
Yeah.
But seriously, guys, you got to suspend your disbelief a lot with this movie. Disclaimer: it's pretty much impossible to drive a car underneath a big rig as they do. But
multiple times.
Yeah, but you walk into this movie, it doesn't try to be anything more than it is. It's we're action from the word go. I mean, we're action from the word go. And the actors, yeah. So we've got Vin Diesel, we've got Brian O'Connor, and they make an unlikely friendship there. There's a Brian O'Connor comes out, and in order to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Well, it was almost a forced friendship. Brian O'Connor definitely forced the friendship.
Correct.
He hung around Harry Tees, which his best customer was Dom.
Yeah.
All the kids wanted to be like him. Yeah, exactly. Whatever he bought, everyone else bought.
Yes.
Yeah, but they were already behind him. He was moving on to the next accessory. He was already getting faster when they were just trying to catch up.
Well, as any racer tries to do.
Absolutely. But I will say this movie did change my diet, actually. Yeah.
Do tell.
Tuna on white, no crust. Every day the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
Every day the rest of my life.
That's, true. And like I said, this was, you see Dom there, and they create this mystique around it.
Absolutely.
You know, who is Dom? What is Dom? What motivates him? Because apparently he just, you think, okay, this guy loves going out and kicking.
He's the alpha. He's the alpha.
Yeah, but this guy's whole deal is he goes out and kicks everybody's ass on race day.
Yep.
And you've got this altered lifestyle that he lives, this whole thing that surrounds Dom's world where everybody's kind of in his bubble. And then you've got this newcomer coming in, causing problems with Dom's old friends, new friends, old friends.
Yep.
Classic tale. We see it all the time. He's trying to bang Dom's sister. Amazingly, Dom seems to be cool with that. One little, you break her heart, I break your legs. Great line. I got to say, I don't have a sister, but I probably wouldn't be as cool with the dude who comes to my restaurant to obviously just get in her pants. Because, as we say, the tuna sucks there. And so Brian's in there. He's, ex-wheelman, stole a car. He's a federal agent. They create a fictitious background for him. But the man, there's no doubt the man can drive a car. A little heavy on the imports.
Don't know I agree with you on that one.
Don't know if I agree. Okay.
I mean, open the scene, he almost goes off a ravine there because he can't even handle that. He loses control of the car, and then when they come up the starting line on the very first race, he goes beyond the starting line like a jackass and makes himself like a complete idiot. He's got to hit in reverse. They're laughing at him.
Granny shifting, not double clutching.
Yeah,
like
exactly. 100%.
Which I've learned means absolutely nothing to real race car drivers.
Well, I don't know. Granny shifting, I think would.
Yeah, granny shifting's in there, but double clutching.
Double clutching. I guess it has a means. I guess when you're done with the import and it takes you, 15 seconds to run a quarter mile. I mean, maybe double clutching does help you. I mean,
but then they had to rip apart the block and fix the piston rings he flied with the mad scientist.
Yes.
We've got a friendship with Vince and Dom that becomes kind of on ice throughout the movie. And Johnny Tran, the rival Japanese biker gang they have issues with, gets pumped up at race wars.
Oddly enough, seemed like the hardest hitters in the movies because they did have automatic, full automatic machine guns.
Yes. So
didn't hit shit. Well, actually, I think they did hit Jesse.
Yeah, they killed Jesse. Yeah. But that was a drive-by. And that was intentional.
Yeah, and they were just spraying. They were just spraying. Anybody could have got it.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Grandma could have got it. Anybody could have got it.
Shouldn't have been standing there.
Well, he was standing there. I mean, you might want to get high behind the car, you freaking idiot.
Yeah. Well, that's like I said. A lot of that sort of thing happens here. How does Dom's gang become, who I only saw him have a nickel-plated pump shotgun throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, they're not
armed up.
Yeah, they're not armed people. No,
they're certainly not walking around with.
I think they're more of the
fisticuffs live to fight another day, which I can certainly respect.
Yeah, I can respect that as well.
But what happens when people without guns usually try to fight people with?
Well,
guns?
it doesn't end well
Typically, but in this case, it does. Apparently, there's a mutual respect.
I don't know. Jesse is no longer with us.
Yes, Jesse does die sadly.
Dom does kind of.
Banging sisters is kind of a thing because apparently Dom banged what's his name's sister, Johnny Tran's sister, and that's where the whole issue comes.
Is that like on a later one?
No. It's in the first one. He explains Brian, obviously so. Why is this person pointing an automatic weapon at me? And Dom goes, well, had a thing with his sister. So
wow,
I guess Dom's cool with that. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, Mia is easy on the eyes. She's not
hard to look at.
Yeah, she's not hard to look at all.
Correct.
Yeah, it was you know what I liked about this movie compared to some of the, you know,
the other 8.
Yeah, the other 8 exactly.
Yes.
Is it was more about the cars.
Correct.
They really did get into the cars and more so drag racing and not, you know, driving through caves in Mexico and jumping over, I don't know, trains and crap.
Yes.
Although a train does get involved in this one.
Train does get involved. Takes out a beautiful...
he does not jump it, though.
He does not jump it. The train kind of jumps his ass.
Well, actually, no. He avoids the train, remember?
Yes.
Yeah, he avoids the train, but then a semi gets him.
Yes. It's always a damn semi.
Spoiler alert, we forgot to say that. But again, this is kind of like Shawshank. If you haven't seen The Fast and the Furious, you have no one to blame but yourself.
Correct.
And honestly, the fact that you know the partial ending, I guess, it shouldn't change the fact that you need to go watch this movie immediately.
Yeah, I would say definitely so. I like the ending where he doesn't turn Dom in. Would have been very cliche to go ahead and end with Dom in prison. But then we wouldn't have 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, that's Hollywood definitely hit the jackpot with this one.
Correct.
Because they milked this thing for everything they're worth.
Absolutely. They tapped into a genre that was hot at the time, kind of coming into its own as far as street racing. You know, obviously street racing's been around since the beginning of time, but street racing imports, that was something that was more considered out west. You didn't really see a lot of people souping up cars around here in the South.
Quickly changed, though.
Quickly changed. Everybody bought a, Motec system.
Any kind, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I spent a few days. What'd we have back then? Alta Vista search engine, trying to figure out what the hell a Motec system exhaust with T66 turbos was. I don't know. That's one of the greatest. We talk about lines on here. Don't let this distract you from the fact that Hector has 3 Honda Civics and he's running spoon engines.
Yep.
And a T66 turbos with a Motec system exhaust. I have a buddy of mine, a guy named Dan, who's a big time drag racer, like legit. And I dropped that line on him and he didn't know what the hell I was talking about.
He must not be an import guy.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Dan.
That's on Dan.
I don't know. Dan's a pretty damn fine drag racer.
No, so I mean, I'm sure he's going to smoke these Pizan cars.
Yeah, he's super points.
These cars, right? I mean, I'm sure Jesse's Volkswagen Jetta can really fly. But let's be honest here. No, I mean, it can beat my mom's car maybe, but it's not beating a true drag racing car.
No, correct.
I mean, when he bet the pink slips to Johnny Tran,
that was a fool's errand.
I mean, Johnny Tran was giggling inside. He couldn't wait to get to the
Johnny Tran. They did a good job of developing how big a piece of crap he was. Because
his dad slapped the shit out of him.
Yeah, his dad did slap the piss out of him.
For disrespecting his family.
Disrespecting his family. All kinds of good things going on there. You'd be surprised with a father who would raise him up like that he would
turn out to be a
hooligan. But hey, it happens. I had a good dad, and it's debatable how I turned out. So,
speaking of hooligans, though, Vince also hooligan.
Yeah,
he never could get with the program in this movie.
Never.
Obviously, he was in love with Mia.
Correct.
Mia not in love with him. The ultimate,
didn't look like ever in love with him.
New guy comes into town.
Beautiful
guy. Let's be honest here. Paul Walker
is a
beautiful
guy.
Man. Oh yeah. Yes. Beautiful guy.
Yeah.
Can't take that away from him.
No,
Definitely
absolutely not.
Absolutely. Maybe not much of a driver, but that's debatable.
Or actor. But the thing about it, they don't set Paul Walker up to fail.
No.
They don't ask him to be anything more than he is. At least not in these movies. Later on, they actually asked Paul Walker to carry a movie, in my opinion, maybe not the best. Too Fast, Too Furious. But it did give Tyrese Gibson a job, which I'm a big Tyrese fan. Boom. He's in there.
Yeah. I will say this, just for speaking of Tyrese, and kind of watched this last night. I forgot how much Ja Rule was in this movie.
Yeah, it was actually Ja Rule was supposed to be Tyrese. Yeah.
But then after 50 Cent just kind of ripped them to shreds, they were like, "Hey, you're out, bud. You're out."
The shine was off Ja Rule after 50.
You no longer have street cred.
Yeah, after 50 pulled down his pants and spanked him repeatedly, they had to pull Ja Rule out because I think, and not to say that I ever thought Ja Rule was tough,
no,
but he was supposed to kind of bring that edgy street element to it maybe, and they probably also figured out that other than some dynamite drop-ins, Ja Rule not much of an actor.
Yes, but I mean, when I think of Tyrese, I don't necessarily think of street cred either. But again, beautiful man, though.
Good-looking guy.
Beautiful,
good-looking guy.
Sure.
Tyrese has got it going on. Works out, takes care of himself.
Yeah.
So we're coming to the end. As I said, guys, we try to keep these under 20 minutes.
Well, I do want to go a little bit further.
Let's dive deep
on some of the.
Let's go, baby.
On some of the crew there.
Okay.
That was with them, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm a little perturbed by Jesse's character in general. Jesse's supposed to be like the whiz kid.
Correct.
Anything with a motor he can work on.
Correct.
But yet he's got the biggest piece of shit car out of all of them.
The Jetta.
The Jetta.
How
and
was
I
that
mean
his
a
choice?
piece of crap.
Yeah. I don't think, I've been in the car business for a while. I don't know that you could give me a Jetta. If that was all I had, maybe so. I also, if I was in jail, like he said, his dad was in jail, and they're going to go race that Jetta, where, Jesse? Where exactly are you going to show up to the mean streets of Bartow and run the Jetta? That's your choice. That's what you're going. You're gangsterifying all this extra cake from stealing these DVDs and stuff, yet you stick with the Jetta.
Exactly.
I think you could do better.
I do too. I mean, his car choice was
questionable at best.
But maybe he wanted to look like the mad genius. Like, hey, I can make this piece of crap Jetta fast.
We got a saying down here about polishing a turd.
Yeah, clearly did not make it fast because Johnny Tran waxed him
with an S2000,
and then played for keeps afterwards because he didn't pay. He ran out. He ran out on that.
The Jetta was obviously important to Johnny Tran too,
yes,
because he went and smoked him because of the Jetta.
Yes, he did.
Now there's a little disrespect there, but at the end of the day, brother, we shot somebody over a Jetta.
Yes.
I don't know that I'd have gone there. A little aggressive.
But I think it was necessary.
Got to keep the plot line going of respect, two alphas.
Yeah, and I think they realized, hey, this Jesse guy, he just doesn't have the acting chops for 9 of these.
Yeah, had to be eliminated.
Let's just cut our ties right now with Jesse.
The actor is probably a nice kid.
Yeah.
They wanted him to go on. They let him kind of show off what he could do. At 3/4 of the way through the movie, you got to go. We're talking franchise here, guys.
Yes.
Vince, questionable to keep him going. I like how eventually
they did kind of face
him out. Yeah, but he's another guy that kind of plays that character in every movie.
Yeah. Also, another thing I took from this movie is you can drink any beer you want as long as it's a Corona. Vehemently disagree with.
Vehemently disagree.
Anytime you got to add a lime to something to make it palatable.
Yes.
Not a good sign.
I'd rather have a Dos Equis.
Yes.
Negro Modelo.
There's a lot of Mexican beers that I'd rather have.
Lots of Mexican beers that I'm going to go for first over Corona that I would think a character like Dominic Toretto would hang his hat on.
Yes.
Over a Corona. But true to form, they keep that theme throughout the movies.
Maybe he would already have. Maybe they could have went back in time and got The Rock's tequila.
Yes. Very fine.
Talamale, something like that. I don't know. Something.
Tastes good.
Yes.
That's all we need to know.
That's all we need to know. Exactly.
It's once it hits your lips, guys. I don't know what The Rock's tequila is. Google it. Check it out. The Google machine ain't just for porn. All right. So we're running a little bit long, bumping up against our 20 minutes.
Yep.
Let's go away with a final quote on this movie. Final verdict.
Like I said, this movie kind of changed a lot of things during that time frame. It definitely kind of created its own little genre type movie. I definitely think it is an own, actually. I would definitely own this movie. I do not own this movie, but I would own this movie. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely one you got to go see.
Yeah. I'm gonna pretty much agree with that whole thing. I enjoy this movie. It's kind of like the song "We Built This City" for me. It's a guilty pleasure.
Yes.
If it comes on, Nobody's in the car with me. I'm going to blast it. If it comes on, the wife's asleep, the kids are in bed, there's a 99% chance I'm going to watch it and probably watch it all the way through. As far as owning, I would buy it. It belongs, especially when you have something that spawned 10 movies. You can't discount the success of the movie. And obviously people are watching these or they wouldn't make 10 of them, although we can debate that about the originality of Hollywood.
I would like to tell people, I won't be mad if you quit watching these. Like, it's time.
It's time.
Well, let's move on.
The franchise ended for me when they drove through 2 buildings and survived.
See, it stopped for me when they went to Mexico and started.
And we're doing 80 miles an hour.
Through caves and crap, doing lefts and rights.
In cars without traction control or any
I
kind
don't know. They definitely kind of got rid of the imports very quickly.
They switched back to American Muscle as the series went on, but
which I didn't appreciate.
I didn't either. I kind of liked seeing the
Yeah, that's just not what those guys are. When you look at those guys, you don't think of American Muscle Cars. No. You think of
No, you think of like the skinny kid wearing skinny jeans who drives the thing with all those weird stickers on it and fluorescent lights underneath.
Even Dom. I mean, in the first one, he literally says, "I'm scared to drive. I've been scared to drive this car."
Yeah,
it's a
scares
car.
The shit out of me.
It's a car. You just drive it.
Lots to unpack. Fast and the Furious one. It's an own for me. It's an own for Adam. Couch Potatoes. Next episode coming soon. Like our Facebook page. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks a lot.